Alright, testing. Testing 1 2 1 1 1. 1 2 1 1 1. Okay. Right now we're hearing the audio from the TAKSTAR microphone. This is what it sounds like. In its most basic form, nothing's messed around with or anything. Now we're gonna put it on the low cut. This is what it sounds like on the low cut. Testing 1 2 3. Now we're gonna move it over to normal mode, not on low cut, and move it up 10 decibels, plus 10 dB. This is what it sounds like, plus 10 dB. I don't know if there's going to be much of a difference besides, obviously, going to be a little louder. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. But yeah, that's what the TAKSTAR mic sounds like. Now onto the road. Alright, now we're on the road, just on the normal setting. So this is what it sounds like coming from the road. The road is put a little bit higher than the TAKSTAR. I wanted them to be kind of right next to each other, but I couldn't really do that. So the next best thing is to kind of just throw it on there. This is what it sounds like. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Testing 1 2 1 2 3. Testing. Now I'm gonna move it up to 80 dB. I mean not 80 dB. Low cut. Alright, this is what it sounds on the low cut setting. Yeah. So, you may be wondering why I'm doing this. I moved it back down to normal setting. It's because I'm filming a documentary, so I'm trying to decide which one is going to be the best microphone to mount on my camera. To decide for the documentary while I'm filming on the HMC 150. And the problem is, of course, I also have to get an adapter because it only takes XLR. So I got the adapter. Everything's kind of plugged up to this monstrosity of a camera setup. So it's kind of all over the place. But the nice thing is, if one of these microphones were to fail, depending on whichever one I use, for some reason, or I just want to switch to a different type, I can always use the built-in mic. Now, most people will say, don't use the built-in mic. And they're right. Most of the time, built-in mics sound like garbage. But, we're going to test that out. Because the HMC 150 actually has a fairly decent built-in microphone. Alright, now we're on the built-in microphone. It actually sounds pretty good. Obviously, I have to be more closer for it to sound good. Because if I start getting further away, I back up all the way over here, and I'm still talking in my normal voice, how I normally talk in most of my videos. If I back up, it's not going to sound as good. Oh, there's a lot of stuff in my way in this room. But it still gets the job done, which is what I really like, is that it's going to get the job done, and it can still sound fairly decent while I'm doing it. Obviously, some of the other microphones, like the surprisingly cheap TAKSTAR microphone, which we're recording on right now. Just had to make sure it's still on. The TAKSTAR is actually $25 on Amazon. It might be $27, somewhere in that range, more or less. Very cheap microphone, actually surprisingly good. Only thing I don't like about it is I would consider it to be a more louder microphone than others. When it's even on its normal mode, not even on its plus 10 dB mode. But it still sounds pretty good, especially if I get further away. It can still hold up pretty well. And of course, obviously, more adjusting will be done while I'm working on this setup. But right now, it's kind of a review video, more or less, but it's also kind of a testing video that I'm making for myself as well. just to make sure the setup works well. So, yeah, this is what the TAKSTAR sounds like, once again, for reference, on its normal basic mode. And then this is what the Rode mic, the Rode video mic sounds like, mounted on my camera. 1 2 3 4 testing 1 2 3 testing 1 2 3 A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P. Now back to the TAKSTAR. A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P. Now the one difference between the two that I think is somewhat unfair, one does have a windsock. Other than that main difference, obviously the microphones do sound different. You can tell the difference between the two. This one does have a wind fuzzy, and it won't fit on the Rode mic. It's too fat to fit it on the Rode mic. But it is nice to have it to block some wind. Let me demonstrate. Now, obviously, I can't produce what Mother Nature can produce when she's blowing at like full scale on top of a mountain. But let me demonstrate what it sounds like when I'm blowing it into the Rode mic. Hear the difference? But also, I do think that the TAKSTAR does deserve a little bit more of the fuzzy, because it's way more sensitive, I think, in my opinion. At least it's more louder. The Rode mic you're listening to me on right now is much quieter, which is actually kind of nice. But yeah, I did not really plan out this video very well. The camera's literally sitting on a piece of a tape dispenser to prop it up just enough so it will kind of get all my face into view. But really, this is more of just a test video to compare the two mics. I do love both of these mics for their different reasons, especially the TAKSTAR, since I've had that at the beginning. When I first bought my first camera, I also bought the TAKSTAR microphone and stuff like that. And I've had two of them over the years. The only reason my first one broke was mainly just because it just slipped off the camera and dropped. And that was the end of it. But this one, of course, it's held up really well. Nice microphone. Cheap microphone. Really great if you're beginning. But yeah, it's a really nice cheap microphone setup if you want something nice and affordable and all that. I highly recommend both of these, honestly. The Rode video mic and the TAKSTAR. Really nice microphones. Highly recommended.